This video is for a class. It is not a real counseling session. Hi, Mr. James. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. It's very nice of you. Um, what brings you by today?
Oh, you definitely wanted to come because being a father is extremely hard, and I probably need someone to talk to kind of help me just help me guide through things. Just being a father, just fatherhood.
Okay, okay. Sounds like you're dealing with some stressors and some anxieties and about being a dad. And
Yes, I am.
okay, okay. Okay, well, you definitely came in at a right time. Tell me more about what's going on with you and your issues with fatherhood.
Well, it's stressful,
Mm-hmm.
as my kids are getting older, and of course I'm getting older as well. I have three kids. I have a daughter and two sons, and just kind of being a father and being able to lead them through what's going on right now, and it can pretty much can take its toll on you when your kids come to you with a lot of questions you don't have the answers. So it's just kind of like it's almost like it's stressful. It just gets real stressful because as a father, you want to have all the answers. You want to be your child to come to you, but if you don't know the answers, it just makes it real kind of challenging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you're at the belief that if your child comes to you with any situation, you must know the answer.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Okay. So that says a lot about your belief system. You believe that without a shadow of a doubt, you should know the answers to any questions your children come to you with.
That's correct. That's exactly right. My belief system is pretty strong. I tend to raise my kids that way as well. I want them to have a belief system that's strong because it's strong because of my life experiences that I've had in my life. That I know that you know through from a spiritual perspective that I know all things are possible. Which is I'm a living testimony to that. So that right my belief level is strong.
Okay. Okay. So let me recap for a second. Um, you're father of three,
Mm-hmm.
and with everything that's going on right now, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on?
It's there's a crisis going on right now. Um, my kids have a lot of questions. They're very confused. I don't have all the answers, and it's kind of it's taking a toll on me because I want to be able to provide be there for my kids, but I just don't know how to. I just don't know how to lead them through a situation like this. So it's stressful.
Okay. Okay, I can understand that, and I really thank you for being open and honest about that. Um, a lot of parents are dealing with the same thing. Um, so, what I want to touch upon today is your beliefs. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we have uh, beliefs that will trigger certain emotions, and those emotions will uh, lead you to behaving a certain way. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, um, beliefs like I should, I must, are absolute. They're really absolute. And we're just living in a world that we don't always know the answers to everything. So I heard you say that spiritually um, you're a spiritual person.
That's correct. That's correct. I did say that.
Okay. And so with your spirituality, what does that say about you must know the answers to everything or you should be a certain way? What does your spirituality say about that?
That's a good question. That's a real good question. Spiritually is knowing that I'm not the one to go to for the answers. It's to go to someone else for the answers. So that's definitely never saw it from that perspective. So that's definitely a real good, good perspective to see it. So that was a real good question. So from a spiritual point of view, I would look to my Father, my Heavenly Father above, for the answers, and then I would, whatever He speaks to me, I would guide it to them. So that's what, pretty just, I guess, answer that the best way I can.
Okay. So you would definitely rely on faith to lead and guide you.
Rely on faith, yes.
Okay. So, I do want to point something out to you, because I know you said you believe that you should know all the answers. Mm-hmm. When you are thinking that way, so the current situation is the crisis that's going on, right?
Right.
We have the crisis. And your belief is that even though there's a crisis, you should be able to lead your kids in a way that you believe you're responsible for doing, right?
That's correct.
I'll say, okay, so your beliefs and then this crisis situation leads to you feeling stress like that. Mm-hmm. Because of, like what you said, I must have the answers. I must know how to address that. And so what we want to work on is your belief system.
Okay.
We want to work on that. And so it leads to irrational thinking when we talk to ourselves in absolute terms. Like, I must be able to provide a gratifying or comfortable life for myself and my family. I must be liked and I must perform well all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Those are irrational beliefs that we will create within us, and those irrational beliefs will lead to emotional stress. Mm-hmm. What are some other things you're feeling right now?
Yeah, that's the main one. Probably be emotional stress.
Emotional stress.
Definitely makes me think, stuff that's unrealistic, or just think stuff that's it's not going to happen, but it's like a thought in your head that you think is going to happen. So, yeah, that's probably emotional. That's probably the main thing.
Okay. So, with that belief system, that irrational belief system, it sets the stage for it. It sets the stage for you feeling that way, that stress, and you didn't say anxiety. I'm just gonna say anxiety, but definitely the stress and that the emotional disturbance. It does come from those beliefs, and so that's definitely something we want to work on, transitioning those irrational beliefs to rational beliefs. That way, when you do have things such as what you have going on now, then you know how to properly assess the situation, understand what your part is in it, and how to lead your family or how to lead yourself from that point. Okay, mm-hmm. So we want to. I noticed that you blame yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do. I blame myself a lot. Mm-hmm. I do, and I don't know if it's experiences or it's just a habit. I mean, I just feel as though sometimes that it's my fault, or it's my responsibility. So if I don't know it, then I take it upon myself to find it. And if I don't find it, then I try to, I guess, do research to find it. But I think it's a habit that I do blame myself, because I guess I want to have the highest standard when it comes to my kids, as far as like just being that ultimate role model. Even though I have some imperfections, but if it was my choice, I would like to hide my imperfections, but I know that's not going to happen. But just to have like the highest standard in front of your kids, and just to be representation for your kids, because that's how I would like them to represent when they go out to represent me. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Appreciate that feedback and that extra clarity on what you think. And you know, you have this idea within you that, you can't make any mistakes. Or you understand, no, I'll say this, you understand you will make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But revealing those mistakes to your kids it's just something you just don't want to do. You don't want them to see those imperfect sides of you.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Because you set the bar so high, even within yourself, to where mistakes are just unacceptable.
That's true. That's true. That is correct.
Mm-hmm. So, and like I said before, that's something we do want to tackle. That idea that you have to be perfect.
Okay.
That idea that you have to be perfect, and that you have this stigma, not stigma, but this standard that you're trying to live by, and it doesn't necessarily it doesn't necessarily make you a bad parent, because you don't always know the answers.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily do that. But tell me more about those your idea of perfection and what that looks like.
My idea of perfection is someone that's definitely has experience in a whole lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's familiar with everything. As far as like, for example, I'm good with my hands, good with my mind. I read, have knowledge of. Pretty much, my knowledge is tapped in a whole lot of things. That's perfection. So it's like, if I don't know it, then I'm gonna do research to become familiar with it. And that's pretty much just like perfectionist, not making mistakes. If I made a mistake, there's a reason behind it. It's not like it's just an accident. Just keeping like that set standard that okay, if you do make a mistake, just there's a reason behind it, but at the same time you own up to it. But I know sometimes it just happens. It happens, but it's almost like, I guess in so many words, if you can just control the narrative, like if you could just control the outcome. And it's the same thing with your kids. Like, it's your kids got concerns, they're confused, so they ask you questions. So it's like, if you just know the ending is near, you just know the end date. It's almost like you can control the narrative, or you can answer all the questions that they have. And by having uncertainty with that, like you said, it makes the emotional stress, because sometimes kids can kind of read if you have imperfections, or if you don't know. But it's just that's probably what someone like I would probably say, with as far as see perfection as.
Okay. Okay. You're very hard on yourself.
Yeah, I see that. I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell me about how did that come about, that hard on yourself part.
Well, I was always pushed. I was always pushed to not quit. I was always pushed to not give up. So it's almost like it can be a benefit, and it can be a curse. Where it can be a benefit because it teaches me work ethic. They teach me to see the end. You know, to finish it, to see the other side. It's almost like to reap the fruits of your labor. It could be a curse. It's because it can another part of the benefit could be a self motivator as well. But it could be a curse because I could be hard on myself. I could become stressed, even though sometimes it might not working out, but it can cause stubbornness, because you can want to continue to push, or continue to see it through, and it's just not there. So it can definitely bring a lot of stress, a lot of discouragement, a lot of frustration, and a lot of I would say like a emotional roller coaster. So that's probably what I would probably see.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I appreciate your honesty with all of this. And we're going to look at some ways and techniques that you can overcome, dissect some of these irrational beliefs, and how we can transform those into something that's a little bit more rational. Uh, and that way you're not uh, being stressed out because of you're not that perfect person that you would like to be. Okay, so we'll work on that, and I'll see you next week. How about that?
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right.